It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and we've got the latest chapter of a historic rivalry. It's the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Commanders, and it's coming up next.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Today, longtime foes square off in the NFC East as it'll be the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Washington Commanders. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Now, Charles, you and I, we've done a lot of games together. Always seems like we're rehashing the same storylines. Turnovers, of course, always a big story. Quarterback play, running backs, yada, yada, yada. But getting ready for this one word kept coming to mind, and that's preparation.
Well, it's critical to be prepared. Physically, mentally. When you think about getting ready for an NFL game, you have to wonder, what will they throw at us that may... before, 2-minute drill, maybe different things like that. Got to be prepared. You're exactly right.
Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And we are underway from FedEx Field. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Commanders for their first drive of the game. And they will be led out by their signal caller in his second year in the NFL now.
And he left North Carolina with most of his school's records, and at one point was thought to be maybe the #1 quarterback in his draft class. He does bring deceptive athleticism and plenty of upside to the table. Add some consistency, and maybe he can really unlock what he can be in the NFL.
Powell. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Back to throw, Howell. And his throw here's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Throwing here, Howell. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Well, one of the linebackers has got it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolded.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've coughed it up, you got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The second-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
Tremendous production in college at 2 different universities, and this is a guy who was a finalist for the Heisman Trophy. Still much more of a runner than a thrower, but has plenty of arm and is capable of making the big throws downfield.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. 28 yards for DeAndre Swift. And the Eagles take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown.
Well, that's how you take advantage of an early turnover. A sudden change situation, meaning ball's turned over. How's both sides going to handle it? One side handled it way better. They went right out on the field and put the ball in the end zone.
One play, that just added insult to injury.
Yeah, that just tells you on the defensive side, they didn't come out ready to go, still reeling from the fact that the ball got turned over.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. They had the fumble on the last drive, wound up leading to the opening touchdown. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. Now a first carry here for Robinson. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Again, it's Robinson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Sets up the screen to Robinson. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now the former Oklahoma Sooner Tress Way on to punt the football. Britton Covey deep for Philadelphia. This is taken at the 15. A good work bringing that one back as he picks up about 16 on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Swift. Dancing away at the 35. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
That one complete down the field to Smith. Oh, some strong running. Touchdown, Eagles. Devontae Smith, 63 yards. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Another impressive drive, so they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, and not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced a punt to get the ball back, and they've played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level.
Jake Elliott taking off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Another drive coming up for this Washington offense. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive.
Encroachment, defense.
And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
Now Howell. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a first down for Washington on a pickup of 11. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Nakobe Dean, now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play.
Well, partners, the first quarter, too early to start talking about needing a comeback. They're down 2 touchdowns already, and that sack, that disrupts this drive. They need something to go right on offense, and they need it to happen soon.
Oh, Howell loses it. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. This defense, Charles, very opportunistic here early. A second fumble recovery in this first quarter of play.
Yeah, you mentioned the right word, opportunistic and aggressive, because once they got the first fumble recovery, they were eager to get a second one, and sometimes they just come in bunches. On the flip side, they've got to figure out how to hold the ball because the play calls seem to be okay. They're just not executing.
On second down, Swift. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 50 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries. He's settling in nicely here in the first quarter running the football. Remember, he already has the touchdown run.
And you can feel the vibe, can't you? He's in unison with his offensive front. They are in concert together. So if you're flipping over to the other side of the line of scrimmage, they've got to be more physical and handle some of these gaps that have been created.
First and goal at the 4-yard line.
Bird sets up to throw it. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on first down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. Second and goal. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Jalen Hurts finding A.J. Brown. And the Eagles take a 3-touchdown lead. Boy, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Washington going to come back out here to take over offensively. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores. And I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Robinson up the middle. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Give the tackle to Hassan Reddick. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. Howell down to throw it. That's out wide here for Robinson. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. The Washington passing game dialed in now. It's a first down.
Washington, first down. First and 10 at the 32-yard line.
On the counter, this is Robinson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Hassan Reddick coming through with a stop there and a tackle for loss to boot. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. And Howell will throw it. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
And his bid for the first down coming up short as he's tackled at the 25. A gain of 9, not enough, and it's 4th down.
Hey, kill.
Sly able to put this one through. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps him inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
Boston Scott on the return from his end zone. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. But Charles, they're really stringing these possessions and scores together early. We're still in the first quarter, but if they can score again here, look out.
Yeah, and as you taught me when we're broadcasting games, one word we're supposed to avoid, and that's blowout. But that's exactly what's going on here. Down 3 possessions just the first quarter. That goes beyond any worst-case scenario we might have thought coming into this game. And another touchdown here, that should eliminate any hopes for any type of a comeback.
Flushed out right. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
First down, Philadelphia.
Hurts.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
They'll roll him out right. He's got it at the 15. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And what great recognition between a receiver and his quarterback, because he's going to recognize the trouble, and then he has 2 options. Cut off the route and come back to help, or head straight down the field, and he chooses.
And he will take this one in for an Eagle touchdown. Jalen Hurts doing it himself from 9 yards out. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. Boy, CD, what a start for them. Still in the first quarter. They're absolutely blitzing them. All the points that they put up, I'm not sure what you say on the other sideline right now.
I think it's as simple as this, partner. The way that they're playing, there's no limits on what this lead could become.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Commanders' offense returning to the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
At the 27-yard line.
Here's Howell. Open man is the tight end, John Bates. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
First down. First and 10 at the 50-yard
From the midfield
line.
stripe, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Robinson. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
At the 38-yard line.
Hand off now to Robinson. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage.
Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson, 28 yards. And the Commanders are able to cut into that deficit.
Hey, kill.
And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through. And they'll accept that penalty. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
They run out of the gun with Swift. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
That was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on 1st down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
That is caught. Oh, he bowls over him. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards in Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Past the 20. They're trying to tiptoe the pylon, but they're going to say he stepped out at the 1-yard line. 103 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. Throwing is Hurts. Quick hitter here, it's complete. So that'll be no better than an incompletion, and that'll set up 2nd and goal.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule.
Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. Open man, he's got him. That's Smith for the Philadelphia touchdown. Devontae Smith with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Eagles are able to stretch out their lead. Elliott Good with a PAT. And a rout is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive.
2nd quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's Washington in possession of the football. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38 as they've got it as we resume action. Back to Robinson now on 1st down. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running.
Oh, Hal loses it. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
Brandon, that's the 3rd time he's fumbled so far in this game. And, you know, you can make excuses for each and every one of them. But the bottom line is he's got to take care of it better. And now that he's shown a propensity for fumbling it, just think about what the defenders are trying to do.
Yeah, well, guys hate 1 fumble, 2's, oh, my goodness, 3 or more. Wow.
Just doesn't make any sense, does it?
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down. Once again, it's Swift. He's able to get 6, a nice pickup down to the 21.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Here's Hurts to throw. And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down. So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So after 5 touchdowns offensively, hey, maybe it's time to get the kicker a little work, and he's able to connect there.
I love that empathetic side of you. You're worried about him getting some action, getting to be a part of the game. Well, he got in and got it done.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Oh, Howe loses it. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And they will have the football deep in enemy territory all the way at the 10-yard line.
Well, we may not see it behind the big play sheet that they like to use, but I'll bet there's a big grin on the defensive coordinator's face. A corner blitz, what we often call a cat blitz. Usually they disguise it, Brandon. You're up on a receiver. It looks like you're going to bump and run with him, press coverage, and then he just takes off straight for the quarterback, and someone comes behind him to pick up the receiver.
And as a former member of the secondary, it makes you happy too, doesn't it?
I can't lie about it. I've got a big grin on my face, too. That was a heck of a play, a heck of a call.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I don't care what the emphasis is in the NFL at any given time. Every defense is still going to say their number one goal every game is stop the run. And right now, they're not doing that, and that really chips away at your confidence.
Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave them with a third down. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. They'll drop to throw. He will find Smith in the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great play there. On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Eagles are able to add on to their first-half lead. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And the Washington offense heading out. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. On second down, another shot for Robinson. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. This offense so far on 3rd down, not good. 0 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Robinson will try to pick it up. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. It's Devontae Smith and the Eagles ready to go on offense. He's the star wide receiver, and he's doing his thing so far here into the second quarter.
And how you get distinguished as a star is each and every week performing to a high level no matter what they throw at you, because you're always wanting to take him out of the game if you're a defensive team. How do you press him, double him, triple him, all those things? But the best each and every week. Solid games and some spectacular ones.
And he has showed up time and time again. And now some disagreement down on that sideline. The red flag is out, and we're going to get a challenge.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So a good challenge there. The look pretty conclusive. The feet were in. Pat. From the gun, here's Swift. 20, 5, touchdown, Philadelphia. DeAndre Swift with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Eagles have taken a 6-touchdown lead. Well, he was already over 100 yards running the football prior to this play, but this run may be his best yet.
I've got... On that one, we're looking at a guy running with extreme confidence, running in harmony and sync with his blockers. All them kind of moving as one, and look at the end result. Big plays.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half.
Commanders 10. Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Washington offense set to take over. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look.
Oh, Howe loses it. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
Gets around him. And just shedding him off there. And he's going to be out of bounds inside the 25-yard line. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. They'll throw on first down with Hurts. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Hurts throw there taken in by Smith. And they'll get this down to the 10. Fifth catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Grant Calcaterra from 10 yards out. And the Eagles are pouring it on. So, Charles, they had him double covered in the end zone. It still was not enough.
I wonder if they're thinking to themselves now, 2 didn't work. Do we go for 3 guys on him next time? Because he fought through all that extra attention, got himself into a great position where his quarterback felt confident enough to challenge the coverage and threw it his way. What a big-time play right there, both by the quarterback trusting him and by him going up and getting it.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Back onto the field now, the Commanders' offense. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Jordan Davis, just a monster on that play, stopping it from going anywhere.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind.
Oh, Hal loses it. Oh, one of the linebackers has got it. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
It fights him off. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd and manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
Touchdown, Philadelphia! Jack Stoll, 42 yards. And the Eagles extend their lead yet again.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
Elliott good with a PAT. And a rout is on here in this first half.
Commanders 10. Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. The Commanders' offense set to take over. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
On 2nd down, another shot for Robinson. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
3rd and 2, here's Howell. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
That's good for a Commanders first down. First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Shotgun handoff to Gibson. And he lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. That's going to be caught downfield by McLaurin. 22 yards there, a first down.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
Here's 2nd and 10. Howell, he'll look to throw it. To the right side and complete to Thomas. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Kevin Byard, the Middle Tennessee Blue Raider, gets the sack. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Howell. Buying time to his left. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. Operating from the gun. Howell. He's going to be sacked. Back at the 23-yard line. Call it a big loss of 10 there. And it's going to bring up a 4th and goal. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Field goal unit and Joey Sly now. He hit his first, this one from 40 yards out. Sly able to put this one through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of...
Oh, trying to gauge the sun, and he muffs it. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. And
there he goes, right side. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A.J. Brown with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Eagles have got it on cruise control. Elliott good on the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half.
Commanders 13. Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So out comes Washington's offense to take over. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gassed,
yeah,
right?
a little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it second down. Operating from the gun, Howell. And that's too tall for his receiver. It's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. From the gun on third down, Howell. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Brandon Graham applied the heat off the edge. Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Wide receiver A.J. Brown, you see he and the rest of his mates returning to the field here. Making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defenses, getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. Official yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. A second and 11 from the 19. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. And that one into the hands of Brown downfield. And he goes diving to get as much as he can following a big gain. A nice little cherry on top there at the end. A big play there just before halftime. Yards. So we now proceed to the start of the second half. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. Scott on the return, out of the end zone. Room to run at the 50. Boston Scott. It's a foot race. And they are not going to catch him. He's in. Touchdown, Eagles. And you've used the phrase with me before, pressing the kicking game. What exactly does that mean? Because they did it there.
It means focusing on it, all aspects of it, because it's the third part of the game. Offense, defense, special teams. If you press the kicking game, create an advantage, make a big play, it often leads to victory.
Ellie. Extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. And what a job there by all 11 on the kick return. The blocking excellent, the return excellent. The result, 6 points.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. First possession of the second half now for Washington. The 1st and 10 here for Howell and the Commanders at their 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Short throw here to the tight end Bates. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
At the 31-yard line.
Toss play to Robinson. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Any team that runs the toss and runs it successfully, that means they win the battle on the edges. That means you seal the edge in order to let your back get to the corner. They got it done there for a very nice gain.
Howell's got this one to Robinson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. First down, Howell to throw. Thomas has got it, complete. And he's brought down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Howell from the gun. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Nakobe Dean able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Howell out of the shotgun. Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin.
That's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on first down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he has another first down as he'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 15-yard line. That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on 3rd. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They'll try the left side with Gibson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Keely Ringo getting to the ball and handing them a loss on the play.
Sometimes I think cornerbacks can benefit from the fact that quarterbacks might just forget about the idea that they might be near the line of scrimmage. How about the anticipation there, sneaking in and making a big play in the backfield?
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up. Back to throw. Howell. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
Sly able to put this one through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Eagles just about set to go to work on offense. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. From the gun, he'll set up to throw. Zaccheaus here hauling it in. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown! Olamide Zaccheaus, 75 yards. And the Eagles just continue to roll. Elliott good with a PAT, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
Commanders 16. Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And the Washington offense going back to work. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto, and so the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
And the defense, they get to Howell. He'll go down here. Zach Cunningham able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
And they won't get a chance to bring this one back. It goes out of bounds back near their own 20. This offense ready for their upcoming series as we get a look at the former Heisman Trophy winner, Devontae Smith. So far, he has the trio of touchdowns. Obviously, it's been a pretty good game for him.
So if this were hockey, they'd be throwing their hats out on the ice for the hat trick, right? I'm not sure exactly what you do in the NFL except applaud and continue to hope you see a little bit more of this. What a tremendous game.
You want to start a new tradition? What can we throw on the field?
I don't know.
Throw your mic out there.
A lot of fans would like that. Cut his mic off.
3 touchdowns so far. 178 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. Fighting to stay on his feet past midfield. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. From Commanders territory now, it's 1st and 10, right at the 40. Dancing away at the 35. And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Sheds off the tackle, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts, 33 yards. And the Eagles get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Elliott on for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. 5 plays there on that drive. And a long run there in the end to top it off. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The Commanders preparing for their next possession. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
They'll throw on first down. Here's Howell. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Hand off to Robinson out of the shotgun. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Here's 3rd and 6. And Howell will throw it. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the #1 thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action. Now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Swift. 72 yards. And the Eagles are pouring it on. Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Here comes the Commanders' offense back onto the field. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
For the play fake, and now here's how to throw it. That's into the hands of his tight end, Bates.
He'll be hit down at the 30. Five yards on the play.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Hassan Reddick picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Here's Tressway now. He's been terrific so far. Taking it about the 16. Accelerating, and off he goes. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. That'll go down as an 84-yard punt return.
And the Eagles extend their lead yet again.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. Elliott now to add the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Well, it's no secret. That's why they have him return punts. He has the capability to take them back, and he did so there. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Washington ready to try again on offense.
And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave them with a 2nd and just a few inches left.
35-yard line.
Off play action. It's Howell. And this one's going to sail on him a bit, and it's incomplete.
Not sure what happened there, but he just didn't get the right read on the coverage that time. Pass wasn't where it needed to be, and that'll send them back to the drawing board.
Howell trying to pick it up on 3rd.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
A loss of 3 on a sack made by multiple defenders.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. And it's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback.
Eagles offense back out, getting set for this next drive. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here. And
it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
And he'll be corralled right around the 34. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Play action. Here's Hurts. Got a man. It's Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46.
Here's Hurts to throw. And that's out to the flat for Swift.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
Swift going to try up the middle.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
2nd and inches. An invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just...
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown.
Devontae Smith, 33 yards. And the Eagles are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. Well, on the other sideline right now, it's just absolute dejection. But, Charles, let's focus on the positive. With the lead that they built here, they've done pretty much everything to perfection in this ball game.
They certainly have. Makes me think that their week of preparation was excellent. And they flowed into this game, and it carried over. And right now, I don't expect them to back off at all. They're playing so well, they just want to keep it going.
Elliott Good with a PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. 3 quarters in the books. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at FedEx Field, where the 4th quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the 3rd quarter. Elliott now to kick this one away.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Here we go on the next drive for Washington. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of...
Oh, Howe loses it. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason.
Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
He's got his target. That's complete. He's going to pick up the 1st down and then some.
Touchdown, Eagles. A.J. Brown, 33 yards.
And the Eagles add another 6 points to what's going to be a blowout victory.
Elliott Good on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Now we get another look at Washington on offense. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Second down throw for Howell. That's out to the flat for Gibson.
And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
That's good for a Commanders first down. 1st and 10 at the 42.
Another throw for Howell.
And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down.
Josh Sweat rushing in and bringing him down to the ground. On 2nd down, a run with Gibson.
And he'll work this one up to about the 38. Give him 8, maybe 9, but they're still left with a 3rd and long upcoming.
They need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Fletcher Cox drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up 4th down. And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. Taken in at the 11. A great return there of 22 yards.
And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. Well, let's shine the spotlight on the former Georgia Bulldog, DeAndre Swift, who's set to begin this next drive.
I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home, because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight up. Just keep that clock ticking.
3rd and 5. Throwing is Hurts. Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. A big play that time on the catch and run. 32 yards. So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Taking it right down Broadway. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
DeAndre Swift,
30 yards.
And the Eagles have got it on cruise control.
Elliott good with a PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
They'll go play action.
Howell, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And zone. The 18-yard line is where they take over.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. They will run straight ahead with Swift.
Fighting him off. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown.
DeAndre Swift.
An 18-yard touchdown run.
And the Eagles are able to capitalize on the forced fumble by turning it into 6 points.
Elliott Good on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
The Washington offense set to take over again. Right now, they're in a bit of a tough spot here, CD. You trail them by double digits. Remember the last time out, they fumbled. They're going to have to play some clean football here on this possession.
And all the talk on their sideline has been about taking care of the football, making sure that they're handling the ball correctly. So you know they'll be squeezing the rock pretty tight here. They just have to be careful not to go so hard in doing that they actually cause themselves other problems. Take care of the ball, but still try and play free and natural.
2nd down. Howell now. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5.
Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
Nakobe Dean.
Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. Here's Tressway now, as he's on to punt for Washington. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done.
And they will take over 1st and 10. Eagles offense and A.J. Brown headed back out there.
Well, this defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now.
Oh, that's just not fair, and now room to run.
And he will step out of bounds here inside the 30.
A big play there for Philly. 41 yards.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines. Let's close this one out.
Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Swift is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Well, this offensive line has really stepped up to the challenge here because those mastodons, they've been sensational clearing holes all game long. And this is great work down here near the goal line to give their back the space he needs to work his way into the end zone.
Elliott Good with a PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he will be brought out here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here.
Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10.
Zach Cunningham getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Howell down to throw it. They'll set up the screen for Gibson.
And they'll bring him down right around the 13. Give him 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 14.
Howell
Back to Gibson and another catch for him. And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. Here's Tressway now, standing just outside his own goal line. Pulled in at the 24. A very good return that time. 18 yards.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Wide receiver A.J. Brown, you see he and the rest of his mates returning to the field here.
And I think we both agreed he could have a really good game with this matchup, but over 200 yards now.
I don't think we saw it as that good, and I think what really makes it special is when games like this are occurring, it's not just getting locked in and in the zone and on a roll. It's continuing to adjust throughout the game because, you know, the defense is kicking coverages towards him, trying their best to slow him down, and he keeps getting the better of them.
Yeah, whatever they've done, it hasn't worked.
They go play action with Hurts.
This is Smith with a grab. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
Partner, I know we're still in the afternoon slate here. Some primetime games still on the docket, but it's going to be tough to top this effort. What an offensive performance we have seen. They have been unstoppable from the moment we began this game, and they're not holding back. They're still throwing the football here in the 4th.
They certainly are, and let me tell you something. If you're old school, you don't like this at all. But in today's football, you just go ahead and savor it. Watch a team execute at a high level. Doesn't matter what the scoreboard says.
And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 13-yard line. Hurts sets up to throw it.
To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
It's been a fun game for him so far, but I think he tried to do just a little too much that time. Give the defense a rare win on that snap.
2nd down, here's Jalen Hurts.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Fights him off. And they will get to him at the 7 and stop him short of the 1st down marker. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
Partner, even I can figure out who deserves the lion's share of credit for their lead right now because he has been terrific in a dual threat role, really chewing up yardage and getting them points with his legs. Simply put, that defense has had no way of stopping him, and that's why his side.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, they just continue to roll. And, Charles, for you and I, we want the close games, but for them, it has to be so nice to enjoy this big cushion.
I can't remember the last time we saw them play this loose and have this much fun. I think they'd love to be able to capture this game, carry it with them from week to week, and be able to execute like this in all the rest of their games.
Now, after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
The Washington offense back out there. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Now left side on the swing pass. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And it'll leave him with 3rd and a full yard to go.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. 3rd and 1. Howell's going to throw it. Work in the middle of the field. incomplete. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now, but as you've mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
2nd and 10. Howell looking to throw again. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Hassan Reddick, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. Here is 3rd and quite a ways. Throwing here, Howell. And he's going to go down again. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
Partner, my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front 7 today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
And he'll go ahead and field this at the 5. A tremendous return there, 39 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
Well, they don't need to score here, that's for sure. They could just kneel it. They've got the huge lead late 4th quarter, but we'll see how they're feeling, Charles.
Yeah, we all know people out there who like to use every second of the clock, no matter what the score. And we know they don't need the points. They've scored in abundance already. Let's find out how they want to finish this ball game.
And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, a little insult to injury here late in the game. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we sign off from Landover.